2026 marks my first year as a bookish content creator, which is so crazy to say because I've been wanting to do this for so long. I've been now doing it for 4 months, and in this time I feel like I've learned a few things, some good and some bad. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the things I will and will not be doing as I enter this new year. Also, hi, my name is Suze, and I am so glad you're here. So let's get into this. Alright, so the first one is more related to my book talk account. I will not be doing follows for follows anymore. And I feel like I might lose followers or subscribers for saying that, but the reason why I created my YouTube channel and my book talk account is just so that I can find genuine friends who also love to read and just get to know each other. My one goal is if I can get somebody to like be inspired to read, I feel like I can die happy, okay? That's all I want. I don't care about the numbers. Like, okay, honestly, like I think we all do care about the numbers. Whenever I see follows for follows, I feel like that's just like a cheap way to get followers and subscribers. I feel like such a hater for saying that. I've noticed on TikTok that if someone follows me and I don't follow them back, then they'll unfollow me. And I don't know the reason why they unfollowed me. It could just be simply because they don't like my content, which is absolutely fine. But I'll notice that same person will follow me again a few months later and I like still don't follow them back, and so they unfollow. And it gives really weird energy. It's not like that genuine book talk energy. So I will not be following just because someone follows me back. You know what? I said it. Yeah, I want to find genuine people who really want to be friends, okay? My second goal is to doom scroll less. So I have noticed that I have read way less books this year, or in 2025 compared to the year before. So in 2024, I read over 160 books, but in 2025, I read only 123. I know it's like pretentious to say like I only read 123 books, but I just feel like I could have been spending more time reading instead of like just scrolling on my book talk account or on YouTube. And it's just hard because like I love to engage with my besties and see what they're up to. Like this is also going back to that first post. Whenever I'm like actually friends with somebody, like if I follow you, that means I'm putting my energy in like watching all of your videos, commenting, liking. I want to know what you're up to. So like in a way, like it kind of is a double-edged sword because I feel like I've spent less time reading. And okay, so like that's one thing, but something else I've noticed is like as I'm reading, like I'll be reading a book, like I'm reading half the page and I'll be thinking about what my next book talk video is going to be about. So I feel like I'm really not paying attention, so maybe that has to do with it as well. But just my overall goal is just be really intentional about what I like feed my brain. My goal number 3 is to buy more from local bookstores, or if it's not even local, like just a small bookstore, even if they have to ship it across the country. I feel like I really don't need to explain myself, so that's it for number 3. Number 4, I want to utilize Libby and Hoopla more. So Libby is an app that you can get through your local library, and so I love to use that to get copies of ebooks that I can send to my Kindle. Also, you can get audiobooks and get access to magazines. But tell me why I just recently learned about Hoopla, so I feel like I have to be a good Samaritan and tell you guys about Hoopla just in case if you haven't heard of it. But Hoopla is also connected to your library account, and what Hoopla does is it gives you instant access to audiobooks and also ebooks. Only thing what I don't like to use Hoopla for is I don't like to use it for the ebooks. I like to reserve that for my Libby account. The only reason is because like you can only read within the Hoopla account, so for me, I just don't like reading on my phone. But if you love to read on your tablet or your iPad, then you can just use that instead. Sometimes for my Libby account, I'll have like 15 weeks wait for an audiobook, such as Quicksilver, which I am still like going through. You can get those audiobooks on Hoopla instantaneously, and I seriously don't know how it works. Like I had to look it up online here. What it does is like your library gives you like a monthly limit on borrows, and commonly it's like 5 to 15 for each card holder a month, and it resets on the 1st of every month. I've also heard that the time of when you try to borrow the media, I guess, on Hoopla, it really depends. So like if you do it really late at night or like first thing when you wake up in the morning, you'll have a higher chance of getting that audiobook on Hoopla versus like in the middle of the day. Speaking of which, my goal number 4.5 or 5 is to listen to more audiobooks. So generally for me, I love to read or listen to them when I'm like out in the car or doing, just like mindless things around the house, when I'm doing the laundry. And I feel like that's such a great way to get in some reading. And I'm stand on this hill. I do think audiobooks count. If you don't, that's none of my business, okay? So I don't know why I'm like talking with my pen here. My goal number 5 is more related to my content creating. So I want to be, and I'm gonna just say I'm manifesting, I will be more consistent with my uploads. So for TikTok, I try to upload every single day, and so far I've done that ever since August of 2025. And I just need to keep that up. And I think TikTok, it's a little bit easier because you can literally create like a shit post, like it could just be a voiceover or like just like a 7-second clip of you like drinking your coffee and have some kind of text. So like that still counts, and you never know if that video will go viral. So that's like the thing about TikTok I love. Like you could just like post whatever. But when I say I want to be more consistent, I really mean that about my booktube channel. So I'm putting this also out there in the universe, and I want you guys to help me stay accountable for this one. But for this year, I want to at least upload 3 times a month, if not weekly, and just see where it goes. And for me, like each time I upload, I want it to be better. It doesn't have to be like hugely better, just like even if it's like one little thing I improve on, I want to make that little improvement every single week. So I was telling my friends this on TikTok, but I don't talk about my YouTube channel like ever, if not like at all, just because I don't want people to find me yet. And I know that sounds like very counterintuitive to the first goal I was talking about. I just still feel like I'm in that like, you know, testing the waters out, learning how to figure this whole booktube thing, and like learn how to edit too. Like filming is one thing, but actually sitting down and edit, that's like, that takes so much willpower from me. And like for someone like me who has like major ADHD, like to just make myself and force myself to edit just takes so much willpower. But I do want to be better. I do want to get better at this. I do think this is like a skill and an art, and I want to study how other people film better. Like, I don't know, is it the lens or the camera, or just like, you know, being more natural on camera too, like just being more, you know, comfortable. So my last goal and my 6th goal here is to lean more into the mood reader part of me. So if you know me on TikTok, my username is Susie the Mood Reader, and that is like literally that's me. Like as I'm reading one thing and I finish a book, it literally takes me sometimes like 2 to 3 business days to even figure out what I want to read next. I just like, you know, I'm so ashamed to say this, but like I have so many books on my physical TBR. Like the skinny bookshelf here, that is all of my like books I need to read, and the books behind me, like 80% of them have all been read. Okay, so at least I got that going for me. But I have a lot of unread books here, and I'm also looking at my little IKEA cart with like books that I still have to read. I am just such a mood reader, and I feel like I also need to learn how to just DNF a book, okay? So like if I'm not feeling it, it's not just because the book is bad. I could just be like not in the mood for a romantasy or a thriller. That's kind of how I feel about this. I don't have it with me right here, but this hockey romance book I'm reading, Face Off by Chelsea Curto, and it's like, it's actually good. It's solid. I'm really loving the MMC. But for right now, like I just want drama. Like I was talking to some of my book talk girlies. I have been reading the Addicted series by Krista and Becca Ritchie, and I talked about this in my last video, but I am seriously, no pun intended, addicted to this series. It's very much so like giving Euphoria, Gossip Girl / Jessa Hastings. So I'm already like, why am I so enthusiastic about this? Like this is a sign I need to put my other book down and just like jump back into this. But what I'm trying to say is I need to listen to my gut when it comes to reading. Like reading should be a hobby. It should be something I enjoy. Also, you know what? Goal number 8 right here. I am not gonna let the rating on Goodreads influence me to whether or not to read a book. There have been so many times where I see a book that's like 3.8 on Goodreads, and like I just literally don't want to read it just because of that. And for some people, a 3 stars means like the book is really good, and that's like the middle, right? For a lot of people, for me, I give like 5 stars out like candy. Like I'm Oprah. You get a 5 stars and you get a 5 stars. That's just how I am, okay? If it made me feel emotions, that's a 5-star read for me. Okay, besties, if you made it to the end, thank you so much for being here. I absolutely love, I just love chatting. I don't know who's like listening, but I'm like, I love chatting with you guys. I find this so fun. Like I said earlier, my only goal on here is just like to influence someone to pick up a book if they've never read like in a really long time, or, you know, just have someone say like, I read this book because you really loved it. That is just all I want in life. Anytime you've read a book that I talked about, like, please do come back and let me know. Comment down below. In my next video, I think I'm going to be doing the January 2026 TBR list, and also like list of books that I do need to finish in terms of series. So look out for that one. But thank you guys for being here, and Happy New Year. Bye.